think we're live. My phone just bloop bloop. That's some good live feed.
It is. It is. All right. Welcome to another episode of D&D Forging Paths, the show where myself and a couple of other people get together and roll dice at various tables with very poor video and audio quality. Our party consists of Dawn playing James, the Centaur Monk, Leah playing Gleroy, the Tall Fellow Halfling Sorcerer, Chris playing Kenneth, the Human Multi-Class Rogue Fighter, Brandon playing Makana, the Cyanide Ardent, Sam playing Erica, the Half-Elf Cleric / Radiant Servant of Pelor, and Taylor, the Human Wizard. So, we're not going to have any absences tonight unless Chris doesn't make it here. I'll be controlling his character for the first couple of hours. I don't think there are any notes to discuss. Happy New Year, guys. Betty White survived 2016, so...
Everyone wants to protect her.
All right, and a quick recap. So, last time we left off, that was 2 weeks ago. Goodness. Last time we left off, the party had been chased through the city by the homicidal Catman after they had done some shopping. But it's been busy behind the scenes as Ken attempted to pull a heist on a guardhouse so that it could steal the loot from the cult hideout, which you guys didn't grab before having to leave the scene. Things were going okay, I would say, but then he apparently had some sort of moral crisis and decided to abandon the project, but was confronted by the Catman that had rampaged through the town and was told, get back up that rope, we're doing this heist. Long story short, Ken is wanted for a bunch of crimes that the Catman committed while walking around looking like Ken. There was a couple of few night activities that involved the Sellsword Lords going to toe-to-toe with Bandasura, who decided, you know what, nah, I'm just going to take Ken and go. So yeah, Ken was kidnapped by the Catman, Bandasura, who then promptly disguised himself as a town guard and threw him in jail. Erica spent the night with the Sellsword Lords and is going to inform the party of everything that occurred in the morning. So we start at morning.
Morning, which is
specifically the first light of dawn. The sun has just barely started to peek over the walls of the city of Califax. The Sellsword Lords, such as they are the first to awaken. Kana, the half-elf cleric, Anarch, the human fighter, and Patience, the tiefling rogue, are the first out the door, followed in suit by Erica. They wander back to the party's room. Rouse... Actually, I think the only one staying in there are... The only one staying in the party's room is...
It's Addis, right?
Yeah.
That's me.
Because Makana got her own room, and...
Yeah, she did.
On the stable. With the Sellsword Lords.
Yeah.
So, it's not that crowded in there. You got some really good sleep, Addis.
Oh, yeah.
He snored.
Damn
Yeah.
time, right?
I think if Makana had known everybody was going to go off and get their own room or sleep somewhere else, she would have kicked Addis out and took that room.
It's almost like you were alone in that room, Addis. That's how well you slept. So, Erica, you're up to bat first. as we discussed, you'd like to call a group meeting with the group?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You take a moment to gather the rest of your compatriots around the... where would you like to have this meeting? In your room or...
Probably in the room.
Okay.
In the room.
The centaur is taken up to the inn room. Makana is called from hers. Does Leroy care?
Is Amos going?
Yeah, Amos is going to shortly get out of bed and go over.
Yeah, we'll go with Amos.
Okay.
Amos.
All right. The Cell Sword Lords and all of your group sans 10 are in the room. You have the floor.
Oh, geez. I mean, I guess she would just explain the events that had occurred last night, as best she knows.
Yeah. Okay. So, aside from my recap, is there anything that you would like to add?
Other than that, Kim came to her and said that he just wanted to, I guess, that they had discussed instead of turning himself in and going to jail, potentially giving him a mark of justice.
Okay. Kana steps up and says, mark of justice is a kind of curse, but one that has very specific triggering circumstances around it. For instance, in the case of thievery, if you lay hands on an object that is not yours or move such an object, the curse could activate and cripple you in some way, perhaps make you clumsier or sap the strength from your limbs until such circumstances are remedied.
Is there any way to take off the mark of justice?
It's very difficult. One would need access. One would not only need to be a more powerful spellcaster than the one who inscribed the mark in the first place, but they would also have to have access to a very specific array of spells. Any one of them would do. I believe you are familiar with the Remove Curse spell?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's one of them, and probably the easiest method by which to remove it. But again, you must be a more powerful caster than the one who inscribed the rune in question. So that is an option to sometimes the more brutal methods of justice being dealt.
Hey, JD, would Makana know anyone who had a mark of justice put on them?
No.
All right, I had to get out my die. I forgot we weren't on roll 20, and I was like, what am I rolling with? I'm good to go
Either
now.
are good at what you do in the Bronze Dawn, or you are dead.
Fair enough. And respect that. And right now, most of them are dead, except for Makana.
So good.
All right, so to that effect, Anarch steps forward and says, thanks to some diligent handiwork by Merrick's daughter. By Merrick's daughter last night, we managed to locate where Ken was being held.
Did he really say that?
No, redacted.
Oh, I was about to say, Makana's going to like raise her eyebrow and be like, patience?
Yeah, no.
I think that's the last thing she is.
Thanks to the information uncovered by Merrick's daughter, we can go straight away to his holding cell and attempt to plead with the law to try and convince them to do a mark of justice instead of whatever else they're planning. I can't imagine it would be good, considering the short spiel that Erica gave us. So let's not waste any time.
Okay. It's worth stating Makana's like moving pretty sluggish today. I think after like 2 days in a row of being brought to the brink of death, that she's kind of spent a little bit.
Does she want to rest on James's back?
Oh no, she's following along. I'm just telling you why she's probably quiet tonight.
Ah,
Felicity raises her hand and says, "Wait, I missed something. Why is he in jail? What did you do?"
Erica would speak up and say, well, he went to look at the guardhouse, and when he was trying to leave, Bandasora attacked him and made him kill a guard and steal all kinds of things.
Can I do a sense motive on that? He went to look at a guardhouse.
Roll it.
Oh man, my light is off. Let's see. That's going to be 6 plus, I think, 13. 6 plus 10 is 16.
You get the feeling that she may be omitting a couple of things based purely on what you know about Ken's nature.
Yeah, because Makana has an inclination that he used to be a thief.
But Erica would just, I mean, she wasn't really giving you any details other than to say that she was.
Yeah, but
That's what she knows, is that he
from
check out.
from the way that you said that sort of thing, and based on what Makana knows of Ken, Makana is able to piece together. Maybe you're not mentioning all of the details. What I'm saying is, not everybody would be able to make that check.
Yeah.
Makana can make that check because she knows Ken. So, proceed.
I think Makana's gonna kind of just nod along and say, "The idiot went alone. All right, we definitely have to go help him out."
Felicity says, wait. So he was threatened by the Rakshasa, and then he was forced to kill someone and steal some stuff?
Yes, from what I understand, the Rakshasa wanted him to continue being with him, but Ken got away. And then the Rakshasa took the shape of Ken to get him caught, or so that the guards knew that he was in trouble. He was the one that was.
Okay, but if he could have escaped from the Rakshasa, why didn't he escape before he killed the guard?
I can only tell you what I know.
Okay. I feel like maybe we don't know all of the details here. Maybe when we get to the prison, we can ask him to clarify some things. I don't know, but it may not be my place to speak.
Makana's gonna say to the rest of the party, we have a rule that's been unspoken from before this day, but now we will set it in stone. If you decide to do something stupid, you don't do it alone. Take Addis with you.
What?
I think that actually is something Erica has said, is don't go there.
Yeah.
Addis, how do you respond?
I mean, I almost died the last time I went somewhere by myself with Makana.
But you didn't.
There we go.
Erica would also speak up and just say that Ken, when he spoke to her, was truly regretful of his actions.
Okay. How would you say that in character?
She would say, when Ken came to speak to me to tell me what happened, he was truly regretful and seeking penance for his actions.
Okay.
Yeah, Makana believes you on that. I rolled a sense motive just because I felt like she'd do it, and she nat 20, but I pretty much know Erica's not lying, so.
I think he's just regretful because he got caught.
Oh, snap.
Well, he agreed to the mark if they were willing to do it to take a mark of justice.
Either way, I want an apology from him.
Felicity pipes in. Did he agree to? But would he agree to a mark of justice because the alternative is, I don't know, execution?
Possible, but
It seems like just another way to get out of paying the full price for your crimes to me.
Makana's going to shrug and say, rather you're apologetic because you got caught or because you genuinely feel bad, whatever convinces you to change makes you change. And I think if the mark of justice gives him a chance to right his wrongs, he should at least be able to pursue it. Death only serves no one.
So what's this about him not being able to touch stuff that isn't rightfully his?
Kana shrugs and says, it was just an example. It's not a very well thought out curse. It would more likely be along the lines of if he strays further than, say, 1 mile of his warden, which the spell would recognize as at the time of casting, that sort of thing. I'll admit it wasn't a very good example, but it's just an idea. You can word it however you'd like with the mark of justice. But either way, all of this is neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that Erica has an ongoing contract with the Sellsword Lords, and we are bound to that contract. So, regardless, we are going to go and head to that prison and do what we can. You may follow if you wish. With that, the Sellsword Lords begin to leave the room. Amos goes back to the Sellsword Lord's room. She yawns as she does so.
The really tired hair.
Oh, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Makana's going to turn to James and ask, how do you feel about this?
Well, I see it as long as justice is being served, I have no problem with either one.
So I guess you wouldn't like a jailbreak then.
No, I would not. I would advise against it. Thus, we might be in more trouble than we already are.
Rory's going to go up to Erica, and he's going to give her a bag of holding and say, you should hold on to this.
Erica's going to look at it questionably and say, where did this come from?
I have my ways.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I have my ways.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Erica, you take a moment to pray?
Yes.
Okay. What do you pray?
I'm just going to pray for guidance given the situation.
Okay.
May the wrath of Pelor send you his mercy.
And possibly send Ken mercy.
Okay. You get a response. The message you receive from on high is blood has already been spilled. There is no need for further blood to be spilled. Violence begets only violence.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
All right, so you head out?
Yes.
Okay, who all is coming along?
Makana goes.
I'm going.
Erica first goes.
Okay. Felicity will tag along. Is Addis coming along?
Yes.
Okay. So basically everybody except Leroy.
The whole crew but Leroy.
Got nothing else to do.
Okay. You make your way through the town. You note that in the pre-dawn split between light and shadows, the town is in a sort of light that you've never seen it before. It's at once slightly macabre but beautiful. You make your way to the holding cell. It's the guard station closest to the city core. There is a thicket of guards out front. You count at least 10 in front of the station. Upon seeing you approach, they block the way to the door and say, "Who goes there and what business have you?" It's also Lord's turn to Erica.
We are friends of the prisoner and we would like to have a word.
Which prisoner?
Kenneth Cade.
You would like to speak with him?
Yes, please.
We will allow 2 of you to enter at one time. He is a very dangerous criminal.
A very naughty boy.
Makana's going to say, I'll go with you, Erica.
Thank you, Makana. And Erica's going to turn to Anarch and say, we find who we need to speak to regarding his sentencing.
He says, "Yes, we will make haste to the city court. We will be back shortly."
Thank you.
He nods to Merrick's daughter and Kana, and they start heading out. Erica and Makana are permitted into the guardhouse. If you thought it was heavily guarded outside, it was nothing compared to what's inside. You count at least 16 guards, as well as what looks like a couple of people from the Tower of the Arcane. There are certainly a pair of casters wearing the robes that you've seen in the city core. You are met by one of the guard captains, not the one that spoke with you today. Lemos was his name, but a different one. He holds a orc double axe in one hand and is fully dressed in his combat armor and wears a very shiny cloak. It's deep purple but seems to reflect the light. As you approach, he says, "Greeting, citizens. My name is Braun Derai. What business do you have here at the guard station today?"
We are here to speak with Kenneth Cade.
That monster? Very well. You are aware of what he is accused of?
No, sir. What exactly is he accused of?
The nature of his crimes is both heinous and insidious. He is being accused of vandalism, totaling 45,000 gold pieces in damages. He is accused of killing 11 guards. And 11, and a guard captain. He is accused of stealing from the confiscated items a grand total of 11,000 gold pieces, as well as some accounts of grave robbing. For this, he has been sentenced to immediate and swift hanging, which will occur within the hour. If you have anything to say to him, I would advise that you do it quickly and you do it quietly. I can allow you at most 5 minutes with him, during which time you will be heavily supervised. Anything that you say can and will be used against him.
He's already getting hung, so what does that matter?
So when is Chris going to be here?
That said, what is your relationship to Kenneth Cade?
We were travel companions.
Traveling companions. Did you know of his volatile nature?
No.
Very well. Just know that if you speak to him, you may be subject to fines to help pay for the damages.
Makana's gonna say, how much is his life worth to you guys if you're just gonna kill him?
His life, it's worth nothing. Anything that he has caused is worth at least 60,000 gold, which you could potentially be fined up to if you speak with him. It depends on the nature of your conversation.
You must have confiscated all of the equipment and everything he had on him?
Yes, we have.
Then surely you know he's no threat without it.
That remains to be seen. The report that we got from the very receptionist who was manning the guard station at which this rampage occurred told us that he was a very potent spellcaster.
I can 100%, without a doubt, guarantee you that is a lie.
And you're certain you've never seen him use magical items to reproduce such effects?
I've seen him use magic items before, but without any of his gear, he is as harmless as a fly. He might throw a weak punch, but that's about it.
Yes. He is still responsible for the deaths of 12 individuals. You would persuade us not to take action.
I would persuade you not to throw his life into the abyss. Without his gear, he's harmless. I say...
Yes, well, he threw his life into the abyss when he did those things that he did last night.
But when you kill him, who does it serve? Who gets payment out of that?
It removes this threat from our society once and for all.
The threat that he's not right now.
The threat that he could be should he continue to exist.
And you don't think there's any way that he was framed for these crimes?
We've considered the possibility. For all accounts, point to him.
Especially given the fact that he can't cast spells without items.
And a wizard cannot cast spells if you remove them from their spell book.
True.
Makana's gonna put her hands together and just kind of lay them out in front of the guard and say, I have a very interesting proposition that's next to the law that I think would be more serve for justice. Would you, if we could pay off the debt, damages, and life that he caused and took, would you be willing to sell him into slavery to us?
No.
Erica would give Makana a really dirty look at that.
That is hardly a solution.
Ask them about the
How do I know that you're not accomplices of his? That you merely kept hidden better than he did?
Makana's gonna say, you've got an interrogator who can cast zone of truth. Put my statements to the test.
He looks at you for a moment and says, unfortunately, this execution, though I agree with it, has not been my call.
Who ordered it?
A noble of the city who shall remain nameless. As he says so, a figure dressed in fine robes with a great many pieces of jewelry around his neck and on his fingers descends from the staircase and says, I've no need to hide my penchant for justice. Continuing his step down the stairs, he bobs his head slightly at you and says, my name is Lord Davin Sooth, and I am the one who has ordered this execution. The gentleman before you is an older, of some degree of elven descent. His ears are more pointed than a human's would be. He's graying in the hair. You see a great many wrinkles. There's a large scar that travels from the left corner of his mouth and goes all the way to his ear, part of which you notice is now missing. He says, I was once one of the longest serving members on the guard force. An affront to our town guard is an affront to the entire city that cannot stand. These people keep us safe on a day-to-day basis, and you would deny them the justice for putting their lives on the line?
I'm saying I believe the Ken I know has a lot more to offer the world than senseless violence. Even if he's capable of what you said he did, which I highly doubt he is. I know this man. He'd be willing to fight if you pointed him in a direction. Why not send this sword against your enemies?
Because he has already committed atrocities against us. This is not his first arrest in Califax, as it turns out. He was arrested not too long ago for pickpocketing. He is a force of chaos, and he is malicious.
Mikana's going to nod and say, that may be true, but people change.
Yes. Well, he should have changed before the events of last night. He's not a young man, not by any stretch of the imagination. He's by this point had a chance to put his life back on the right track. That he has not so far speaks of the deep-seated evil in his heart.
Eric will pipe up in and say, since he has been with me, I have seen him change to be a better person. I don't think we're talking about the same person.
Yes. And an animal behaves so well when you're giving it treats, does it not?
Look, I may be only problem, but I'm at least smart enough to know.
I just think more thought should be put into this, his punishment.
Like the thought that he put into his atrocities last night. Yes, I see. Listen, your concern for your friend is very touching, very endearing, but this city has no room for scum like this, especially not when we are beset as we are with such a plague.
Kana's gonna ask, and what about the damages caused yesterday by the Rakshasa? Surely you witnessed the path of destruction it wrought on our town?
Yes, what of it?
You don't think it's capable that this thing might have been behind this instead of our friend who is stuck in a cell right now when that thing was able to blast down walls and tear down buildings?
And would you say, how would you have us discover this?
I'm simply saying that if you think my friend is the powerful villain that he is, able to kill 11 guards and wreak such terrible destruction, I know this man, he does not want to die. He looks out for his own head. If he was capable of that, he wouldn't be in the cell where you have him now. I think you have the wrong person. And as much as I'd love to see justice administered, which isn't as much as you at all, I don't want to see not him because my friend, but just an innocent person or semi-innocent person sentenced to death.
Semi-innocent. So you acknowledge his guilt?
I acknowledge he may have done things he's not proud of.
And you would say, given the chance, he would cease doing things that he is not proud of?
I believe so. I believe everybody deserves a chance at atonement. And if it's atonement or death, I'm near certain he'd choose atonement.
As I said, your concern is touching, heartfelt, really. I'm moved beyond words. But the order has already been given. Preparations are already being made.
By you!
In a set of words, too late. If you like, it will be a public execution. You'll get to watch, if you so choose.
Hell yeah.
If you would be so kind, get out of my sight. I've no time for the likes of you.
Do we at least get a chance to talk to him?
He turns away from you, and the 16 plus a guard captain turn to you and say, "You heard the man. Out."
Correct.
That's a no.
All right.
I do not like that man.
Yeah, I think Makana's standing there grumbling.
All right. You are. Do you leave the guardhouse?
Erica's going to put her hand on Makana's arm and say, let's just go. Let's not cause any more trouble.
What's the guardhouse look like? Is it? Can you tell where the prison area is?
Nope.
I mean, are there doors or anything?
There are doors, yes. But considering that you've never been here, you have no idea where those doors go.
I think Makana would leave as Erica's like pushing her out, but her like minds would be turning.
Okay.
So do we step outside?
Yeah. You step outside, and the wall of guards closes up in front of the door.
So how did
Oh,
you're still there?
I'm here. Did you say something?
Yeah, James asks how what was said.
We didn't even make it to see him.
He's going to be executed within the hour, and the noble that gave the death sentence to him is hell-bent on justice, so much so that it seems a little bit vindictive.
Did he at least what is he charged with? Did they give you the list?
The death of 11 guards, 60,000 gold worth of damages and stolen property, and I think trespassing.
And they said something about him ransacking certain special items, right?
In a grave robbing.
Oh yeah, grave robbing.
That's right.
Are you sure that's who he says he is? And not Brody in disguise again?
I don't know, but how close are we to the guards, like at the door? I assume we're probably talking in private.
Yeah, can we walk? Definitely have
You
walked
walk
away.
away a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, half of me wants to sneak up there and put a bolt through that guy's heart.
Erica's gonna, to answer Addis's question, Erica's gonna say that when they encountered the Rakshasa previously and he was attacking them, he said he offered to let Ken hang and create a distraction so he can get away. That Ken could get away. Like in the process of the public execution, the Rakshasa would create a distraction so that they could get away. with Ken. We could get away with it.
That didn't happen.
No, because Ken said he wouldn't do anything that the Rakshasa said. And I
Okay.
Hey JD, player question. Would
Yeah.
Erica have recognized Dominate Person on Ken?
If you examine somebody very closely, you can make a sense motive check on them.
Would she have been able to recognize it as he was casting it?
You failed your spellcraft check, remember?
Oh, I did. Okay, you're right. I did fail that spellcraft.
But you did think it was probably a little bit odd that Ken would suddenly start attacking Kana.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was something. Because Ken would never have went willingly without being controlled. Cool things. That's what I needed. Thank you.
Okay. As you guys are having this discussion, you see the procession of guards start to part from in front of the door. A carriage is wheeled up to the front of the guardhouse. There seems to be some commotion before you see a couple of figures step into the carriage. You can't make out who they are from this side of it. They're stepping in on the opposite side. But the carriage definitely begins to sag with weight. A pair of guards replace the driver, sitting side by side on the driver's seat, with one of them taking the reins. Another pair of guards hop onto the back of it, grabbing onto the lampposts and balancing themselves on the axles. Shortly, the cart begins to pull away, moving slowly. The procession of guards in its entirety follow the carriage. This includes the pair of mages that you saw inside. They're going up the main thoroughfare. It looks like they're heading towards the main square.
Oh boy. What do we do, guys?
Well, we need to see who's in that carriage.
Probably Ken.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, we could take Brody up on his offer, have him create a distraction. It will force Brody to reveal himself, and if we can get the attention on Brody, and for them to see they have the wrong person, maybe it's a win-win situation.
But if we break him out of jail, then we become criminals.
Well, he's gonna die without us.
Erica's
I
very
don't mind
opposed.
being a criminal if it means saving someone's life.
Erica's going to interrupt Makana and say I'm incredibly opposed to working with that Rakshasa.
I don't know. Like right now, just as a player, I feel like Makana's very, very opposed to letting Ken die. She's kind of in like suns out, guns out mode.
Well, we don't know where he is anyways, do we?
Yeah, she's gonna head towards the carriage, I think.
I'm just gonna follow the carriage.
Yeah, is it possible to see who's inside? Are there any like windows on it?
There are windows, but the blinds on them have been pulled.
Oh, let's see. I mean, we could just break the carriage down. See, that's why everybody needs to be chaotic. Just bust it down, bust them out.
I'm chaotic, but I'm also good.
I mean, saving a framed man is a good thing.
I don't know, he's framed.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Isn't James also lawful? So doesn't he? Wouldn't he be opposed to that?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. The party only knows as much as you've told them. So, you know.
And I mean, Erica would have revealed everything that she knows. She wouldn't have kept anything secret.
So she knows Ken killed at least one person.
Yeah.
The majority of the party doesn't know Ken that well. And kind of know he's
Killed at least one person.
is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Brash. Yeah.
All right. So, you all follow the wagon, the carriage.
I guess if you guys follow the carriage, Makana will go to the jail. We can confirm it's Ken.
Okay. So, how many of you are following the carriage?
Me.
Okay.
Alice.
Sam, if you're you.
Erica would follow the carriage.
Okay. So Addis and Erica. Okay. Felicity will join the two of you and say, "I'll go."
I mean, what is Makana doing?
McConnell's going to go to the jail cell and see if Ken is still there.
Okay, I guess I'll go and follow the carriage.
Okay.
Really?
All right. So just McConnell going into the guardhouse.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I was just say Ada should come with me so we can both almost die.
You're going to do something stupid. All right. So McConnell, you go into the jail.
Yeah.
Okay. Once in the guard station, you see that there are still a pair of guards remaining there, and the receptionist sitting behind the desk. The receptionist looks up at you and she says, "Can I help you?"
McConnell's going to ask her, where's the hanging going to be at today for the prisoner?
In the main square. They've already departed with him.
All right. She's going to do a sense motive on that.
Okay.
25?
You get the sense that this is a person who has heard terrible things on their very early in the morning on the job. It's not quite Monday for them, but it feels about like that.
It's worse. It's Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah,
McConnell's-
you do get the sense that they're being truthful.
Yeah, McConnell's just going to say, nice job. I guess I hope when he's dead that you guys will feel better about yourselves.
The receptionist gives you an odd look, and you hear some whispered conversation among the pair of guards.
She's just gonna like throw up her hands and say, "You're all doing Paylor's work here, serving justice and protecting life. Good job." And she's just gonna walk out.
The receptionist says, "I worship Cuthbert." All right, you leave and proceed after the carriage.
Yeah.
All right.
She'll do it. She'll do it with haste too. I can give her a little bit of speed.
Yeah, you can buff your speed. All right, you managed to catch up. Granted, the procession isn't moving very quickly. Conversational attempts with the guards is fruitless. They either flat out ignore you or they tell you to piss off, peasants.
You call him a peasant.
So, the procession makes its way into the market square, where it would appear that there has already been set up a gallows, and a crowd appears to have already been gathered by some sort of town crier-esque character. It's not a very big crowd, probably only about 20, 30 people. But considering the proximity of the market square where you are and the guardhouse in question that was vandalized in last night's events, not very difficult to arouse curiosity about the event going down. Once you get there, you notice that the carriage stops right next to the gallows. The guards that were riding on it step off, and the guards that were following the carriage form a very tight, orderly ring around the gallows. They push some of the spectators that have arrived back a fair amount, making room. You see emerging from the wagon, from the carriage itself, you see the noble that you saw earlier, Davin Suth, and the guard captain, Braun Darai, step out of the wagon, the carriage, as well as another individual, a man that you don't recognize, but he wears a very heavily hooded cloak, and he wears studded leather armor as well. At his side, there's a very large scabbard, which contains a greatsword. The gallows is very small. It's only outfitted. Looks like it's only got room for one person in particular. But you do see a lever, which you would presume is attached to a hatch that would swing the person with the rope around their neck down below. And lastly, from the carriage, you see a man with in common clothes with a sack over his head. He is grabbed roughly by a pair of guards and forced up onto the gallows. Davin Suth stands at the edge of the gallows with his hands clasped behind his back. The man in the cloak escorts the man with the sack over his head up onto the gallows, where the guard captain stands at the beginning of the stairs up onto the gallows. The man in the cloak fits a rope over the head of the man with the sack on his head and begins to prepare it, tightening it slightly and making the man with the sack stand evenly on the trapdoor beneath him. The man with the cloak.
How far back is Makana?
You guys are about 30 feet from the gallows. You've caught up with them.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna be like walking forward this whole time, trying to get to the front of the crowd.
Okay. You guys notice among the crowd there is a very, very finely dressed individual. He's wearing the robes of the Arcane Tower, but he has a very lavish amulet around his neck that seems to make him almost stand out from the crowd. He's watching the spectacle with a concerned look on his face.
How close is he to the gallows?
He's standing on the outskirts of the crowd, just like you are.
Okay. Is there any fire near?
No. Once the man with the sack has been prepared for the hanging, the man with the cloak pulls back his hood. He looks rather ordinary, not a familiar face that you recognize, but he steps up to the man and pulls the burlap sack off of his head, revealing Ken standing there, to no one's surprise.
Yes.
What a shocker. What a turn of events.
God, it's Ken.
Oh my God, it's Ken. He's about to be hanged, just like they said he was going to be. Davin Suth begins to list. He addresses the crowd. He says, "My fellow brothers and sisters of Califax, last night, in the dead of night, we were wronged by a criminal. Many honorable, good people of the guard were murdered, some of whom were murdered in their sleep. Some murdered not even prepared for their night watch duties."
Makana's gonna yell and say, "Many citizens were murdered at the hands of the Rakshasa yesterday, but we don't avenge citizens' deaths. We only avenge guards. The system doesn't serve us. No confidence.
"Silence!" he shouts.
We're dying from plagues. We're being attacked by criminals. The
Makana
guards have
by a
no
pair of guards.
authority."
Do you have anything to say to the pair of guards that are rapidly approaching you, Brandon?
I think she's just gonna kind of keep trying to incite a riot.
Okay. The crowd gives you a confused look. Roll a charisma check.
Can you roll a diplomacy check?
Charisma check. Make it happen.
Oh God.
That is going to be a 17. Should have gave me that cloak of charisma +4, guys. That would have been at least a 19.
19, but that still wouldn't have been enough. Also, diplomacy wouldn't work here because you're not trying to get people to think better of you. You're trying to get them to think worse of other people. The guards reach you and, drawing their weapons, they tell you, "You be silent, or we will silence you."
She's just gonna nod and say thank you for the protection, and she won't say anything else.
Suth continues. He says, "For this we seek our immediate and swift retribution against the criminal and culprit of these actions." He turns to the man with the cloak and nods. The man with the cloak places his hand on the lever. He says, "If any have anything to say about this wretched criminal, speak now."
Final words.
I feel like Makana would step up now.
Okay.
Are the guards still eyeballing her?
They are, but they only give you a very wary look. They sheathe their weapons.
She's gonna say, answering for his crimes with death. He hasn't even been found guilty of them. Look at this man. What is he capable of?
As you do so, the man from the arcane tower steps forward and says, "I would like to know how much investigation was brought upon this man." The noble appears to become a little bit flustered, but as he begins to respond, the man in the cloak pulls the lever. Ken falls down beneath the trapdoor and begins to clutch at the rope around his neck.
Man, I think you should have waited until Ken.
Good thing it didn't break his neck.
Oh gosh, can Makana cast a spell?
Sure. Before you do, though, the man in the cloak unclasps his cloak and flourishes it around, hurling it out into the crowd. And as it passes over him, he reveals himself to be Bandasora. He says, "Surprise!" Looking over the crowd, he says, "It's round 2.
Oh my gosh.
Hurls a hand back behind himself and conjures another sphere, much like the one you saw him using the other day, and hurls it into the crowd, freezing several people solid instantly.
Can Makana get her spell off?
Yes. What would you like to do?
An astral construct that has energy touch, and it's going to come with fire energy and grab the rope.
Okay. You conjure it on the gallows?
Yes.
Okay. It appears behind Ken, reaches for the ropes, and grasps them, burning them down to where they will not support Ken's weight. He falls down beneath the gallows immediately. You see a couple of guards move to go and restrain him, although, much to your surprise, Ken doesn't look like he's really making all that much of an attempt. He's just kind of sitting there where he fell. You see a couple of guards and the guard captain begin to rush up onto the gallows to try and combat the new threat that has appeared. You see the man who is from the Tower of the Arcane. He begins an incantation and begins to hover slightly up above the crowd. You may attempt spellcraft to recognize the spell if you like.
Is he a half-half?
He looks like a fairly portly human.
12 on the spellcraft check.
Nope. All right.
Fair enough.
I got 16.
16? Also no. Addis?
Spellcraft checks.
Yeah, spellcraft.
He got this.
Good.
He's
Yeah, I think Addis's minimum is like more than what Makana rolled.
Okay, I just rolled a 9. Let's
Plus
see
like
my-
14.
What's the total?
Does that modifier increase the skill ability modifier for the spellcraft?
Your new headband would also increase your intelligence
He
modifier,
wouldn't have
which
that
would.
until after, would he?
Oh, you're right. You're right. So you're operating without the new headband. So just use what you had before. So it's
Okay.
only really 1 point of difference.
So before it was an 18, so it'll be 18 plus 9.
Is 27. You
Yeah.
recognize not only the one that the mage next to you cast, you recognize that Bandasura casts Autoluke's Freezing Sphere. The mage in question next to you cast Fly.
Big claim.
Hey guys, he's gonna fly.
So,
What is it like? One person casts a 6th level spell, and the other one's like, and 2nd level.
I am at half power. So, as he begins to hover up among the cloud, he says, "Why waste your might among peasants when you could duel a true mage?" Bandasura looks up to the mage with a look of glee in his eyes. He's wanted this. He says, "Don't mind if I do, but first," he turns to the noble who is backing away from the tiger slowly, and he lets go another spell. Oh, he did. The noble falls over backwards, dead instantly.
Makana would try and save him.
Well,
He's dead.
No, I know. I'm just saying he's dead, but Makana would have tried to save him too, just to like rub it in his face, like you shouldn't have did this. But anyways, there's justice. I guess.
not evil. All right, so come on. Who's all doing stuff?
Well, trying to get to the gallows.
Yeah, Makana's rushing towards Kin.
Yeah, the crowd is now running, screaming, fleeing. It's a little bit difficult to get there, but you managed to make it most of the way there.
Probably
You,
easier for him because everybody's like, horse!
it's a horse.
Stampede. Like, meow.
I don't know about that.
That doesn't happen. That's not a thing that happens for humans. I would
It happens
direct.
for horses.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
horses do that. People don't. People are bad at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
impeding your progress is a bunch of people who see the centaur trying to move through and are just like, and just kind of stand there for a couple of seconds before you're like, no, move, get out of the way.
Start tossing them from side to side. No,
Just start shoving people.
No.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Yeah, Ludacris starts playing. Move, bitch, get out the way.
All right.
Should we roll
You
initiative?
attempt to make your way through the crowd, but it's slow going. It's difficult. There's not many people here, but all of them were kind of just right in front of you. You do notice that a couple of guards notice you approaching and attempt to get in the way to sort of stall you, as the other two guards attempt to usher Ken into the carriage nearby.
Wait, wouldn't Makana be closer to Ken than they were?
Slightly. But you are also not a centaur, and you're working against the tide of people. You can attempt to make a strength check to muscle your way through. James may do the same if he so chooses, but be aware that your strength is a full, 13 points higher than Makana? I mean, you might hurt people if you try to muscle your way through.
I'm not going to try to muscle.
Okay.
So that would be...
You
Yeah.
need one of those choo-choo train things where you get just...
JD, I got a 14 on the roll, but I can increase it by 2 with my racial ability.
Okay, do you do so?
That's
Because I can
racist.
tell you the result of it until you decide whether or not you use it.
Is anybody on my back, or is it just me?
Felicity's on your back.
Oh, shit. Didn't-
Let me double check this ability, because I believe this ability, I can see the result and then choose to use it, because it's like a glimpse into the future. I am looking it up now.
That's not busted at all.
Well, it's only once per day. 1 roll plus 2.
There's literally no other ability that functions in that way.
Yeah, but I don't get like racial skill adjustment thingy things. To like, I don't know. I'd rather have a +1 flat bonus all the time rather than a +2 ever so often.
Yeah, okay.
Look at him. He's beautiful.
Anyway, so proceeding, is Addis doing anything?
I'm backing away from Bandasora.
Okay.
Um,
So you're having the opposite reaction.
Well, I'm not going towards him. I'm a wizard,
Okay.
man. He's squishy.
Yeah, true. You bring very valid points. All right, Erica, what about you?
Erica would be rushing to Ken to make sure he's okay.
Okay, so you're moving along with the others. Okay.
I just want it to be known that I will purposely stand behind James and move behind him so that the path is semi-cleared. Can she do that?
Sure. As you guys are approaching the stage, you see the mage laugh and say, "A phantasmal killer. Is that the best that you can do?" And he launches off an arc of lightning that jumps from his fingertips and then fails to beat Mandasora's spell resistance. The arc reaches over towards Bandasora, but then a shimmering barrier flickers as the lightning reaches him and then bounces back and strikes the caster.
Oh,
Oh,
Damn.
that's terrifying. JD, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
If it's a strength saving throw, I can apply it, but I can't do it to skill checks. Just initiative rolls, attack rolls, and saving throws.
Okay. Well, the 14 would work.
Okay.
Okay. You managed to push your way a little bit more quickly than James is moving.
All right. Let's save us the Ken.
Be forever in your head.
James
Reacting
isn't gonna
very
fucking-
quickly, the mage manages to dodge most of the chain lightning that he threw out, but it still strikes him and hurts quite a bit. He doesn't look too great. Bandasura says, "Oh, foolish man," and hurls a. Let me look at Banda's spell list real quick. I'm working off the top of my head, and I'm forgetting what all he's got. Okay, yeah, that'll do. He hurls. He angles it at first, but then corrects it. He lets forth a wintry blast, a cone of cold, upon the crowd. Let's see. Makana is moving somewhat adjacent to James. The cone is going to just barely scrape along you. Brandon, go ahead and make a reflex save. You have a +2 bonus to your reflex because you can duck behind the crowd.
All right. So with that precognitive edge, it said I can elect to use it after I know if my save fails. I got a 15.
Okay, so that would fail, yes.
I don't like the way you said that. I feel like if I bump it up to a 17, it's still going to fail. I'm going to use the precognitive edge.
Okay, 17 also fails.
Fair enough.
All right, you take 44 points of cold damage.
Oh.
Heebie-jeebie.
You feel your body heat just immediately evaporate as the cone of cold just barely clips you as you move through the crowd. You look adjacent to you and you see several other members of the crowd have just frozen solid.
Oh, shit.
A couple of these statues are knocked over by people trying to move out of the way. They tip over and shatter on the cobblestones, flinging bits of people everywhere. It's quite horrifying. Moving on, you guys have another round of opportunity to do something. The
I don't
guards.
have any weapons that reach.
I mean, do we get to Ken before the guards do?
No, the guards were pretty much on top of him immediately, but they're trying to struggle to get him into the carriage. Ken is going to make a will save.
Okay. He fails. He's gonna kill everyone.
Oh, Finn.
Ken blows that will save real hard. Real hard.
Makana's
Hey,
gonna. Oh,
Sorry, I was muted. Player question: can you dispel dominate person?
Yes, you can.
Can Erica attempt to dispel? Since she knows something's wrong with him, obviously.
Yeah.
When she reaches him? Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
That'll be a 17. She rolled a 17, which is what? That plus my player level?
Yeah.
So it would be a 25?
That works. Ken blinks for a couple of minutes before he starts to fight against the guards. He begins to attempt to move out of the way. He's going to make a strength check in response. It's not going to be good enough. All right. Brandon, you had something?
Yeah, Makana's gonna drop the astral construct down. And this one has 50 feet of movement. Can she tell it to grab Ken from the guards?
Sure. It moves over to the guards. Several of the guards swing their weapons at it as they're really unsure what this thing is. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
What the fuck is this thing?
That's a natural 20, but constructs are immune to critical hits.
Oh yeah, that thing. I forgot construct traits.
All right. 4 guards swing out. What's its AC?
Pretty sure it's 21. I'm double checking for you. 4th level, it is 22. Has +2 to Dex.
22.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, Carter's done.
One second. Should have had this document open before. Okay, that's going to be 3 hits. That'll be 11, 8, and then 7 damage. So all told, 26 points of damage to your construct.
Holy fudge.
Yeah. All right. Let's have it make a strength check to try to help free Ken of the guards.
All right, it can do those. It's got a 25 in strength, so that's a +7 to strength.
Plus 7.
Okay. Yeah. 7 plus 17 is going to be 24.
Yep. It basically just flies up and bats both of the guards away, like, get away from here. Ken is free of the guards. All right. What's James doing?
Am I up to the thing yet?
Yes, you have reached the gallows.
I didn't think I'd get this far so quick. You're alone. I forgot. All right, what's in front of me? Because I don't know what's
Well,
in front
there's
of
the
me.
gallows that you
Well.
rushed to get.
Here.
All around you are people running, screaming in horror.
I would have thought they would have left by now.
Yeah.
You've got about 15 feet of movement before you encounter more screaming and panicking crowd.
So where's Bandasura?
Bandasura is still dancing on top of the gallows. He's out of.
Yeah, he's like above us right now.
Oh, well, you're eye level with his thigh.
Oh, are we?
You
Oh,
should
James is. James is.
close and push it over.
Try to tip over the gallows.
Sure.
Yeah, if Makana sees you like messing with Brody, she's gonna be like, "No, leave him alone, please."
Or are you just going to tell me?
You can try to say that, but it's questionable whether or not James will hear that over the screaming of the
Yeah.
crowd.
What'd she say? Well, what did Bridget say? Because
Makana's probably would be like squealing on the ground, like, "No, please leave him alone." It'll be her 3rd consecutive day of like dancing on the edge of death.
was
What did you get?
I had my modifier, right?
Yes.
What's 15 plus 7?
That would be 22.
Okay.
James hefts. He gets his hands up underneath the gallows and just pushes them up. You hear the screams of a couple of guards that were behind the gallows as it crashes down on top of them. And you see Bandasura. He's going to make a dexterity check, and he will make it. He
Of course
leaps
he would.
from the tip of the from the tips of the gallows, and he's going to make a tumble check and lands on your back.
Oh,
With Felicity.
Oh
with
no!
Felicity. He puts his arm around Felicity's torso and says, "My, it's a wonderful day!" He throws a lightning bolt towards the horses of the carriage. What do you want to bet the horses can't make this save?
It's reflex. They're dexterous creatures.
Well, I'm pretty sure the horses are not going to survive a lightning bolt.
I'm
Fair enough.
pretty sure those horses are fried.
If you like, I could check the monster manual to see they
No.
hit.
No, it's fine.
Well,
The horses fall over dead, and the carriage is now going 0 places. The lightning also catches fire to some of the Gesundheit, to some of the structure of to the harnesses of the carriage, and it slowly starts to burn brighter and brighter.
Inside, you hear the screams of Ken.
No, he's not in the carriage, if you recall. All right, so getting back to the party, you notice that that mage from earlier has gone suspiciously silent.
Probably dead.
Well, he certainly wasn't doing great. So now, at this point, the crowd has cleared enough that you could make a run for the streets. Felicity, for her part, let me check her spells.
No. I feel bad now.
Felicity screams. Here we go. What shall she do? She shall try Daze Monster.
Ooh.
Going to roll to beat his spell resistance. God. Which she does not do. The spell just goes and Bandasora chuckles. What shall you do?
Crap.
Makana has an action now.
Yeah, hysterically.
Yes, Makana may take an action.
Fudge, man. Come back to me.
Okay.
Can I not
I was just asking.
find him? Or
Yes, you
get
may.
him? Can I attempt to grapple?
Grapple the creature off of your back. Okay, here's what you can do. You can grab his wrist, right? You can see from the corner of your eye where his wrist is.
Mhm.
It's hooked around Felicity's abdomen. You can reach back and try to yank him off.
Why not get his foot?
You can do that too.
I don't want to risk cutting her.
I mean, you gotta make a risk.
I gotta do something though. I guess I'll attempt to get his wrist.
Okay.
It seems
Make a
like
strength
the better
check.
thing. 19.
Okay. He's going to contest that with a strength check. You feel him feebly grip at your sides with his knees, as one would ride a horse. But it is no match for you as you immediately just whip him off of your back. You see him go as he flies off of your back. Felicity is going to make a ride check to try and stay on.
She falls off.
Felicity, wait, let me see if she's got any points. She has no points in ride. She falls off.
Oh. That's a... Well... Shit.
Felicity takes 4 points of falling damage. She groans as she rights herself and uses the rest of her movement to try to climb back onto your back. That's going to be a dex check, which she
Holy
makes.
shit! Why didn't
With a
she do
19.
that with the ride?
She deftly just leaps up onto your back, almost as if she's done it before. All right,
Probably has.
Brandon, what's Makana doing?
Is Brody still within talking distance?
Yes, he is currently face down on the cobblestones, however.
At least he's off the gallows.
Okay. Yeah, Makana's just gonna say, "Thank you, sorry, bye. We're gonna stay out your way," and she's just gonna have her construct move Ken and just take off running.
Okay. This one can't fly, correct?
It cannot. With an action, she can make one that can fly.
Do you want to do that? He's kind of in the middle of a throng of guards.
He is?
Yes.
Oh, well, no. We'll just take off towards the rest of the party with Ken in tow.
Okay. Addis, what are you doing? You've been real quiet. Addis has just been over here at the corner of the crowd going,
I mean, Addis knows that we can't take them. So
True.
Do I want to throw a spell at him? or do I
From
wanna
where
wait?
Addis was standing, he saw the cone of cold hit the mage from the tower, and the mage just kind of fell backwards and collapsed onto the ground.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that 42 damage. I'm gonna drink a potion of cure serious wounds.
Okay,
Would you mind reminding me how many D8 that is?
that's 3d8 plus 5.
Okay.
Addis is gonna like stay far away and escape when the rest of his party escapes.
Okay. All right. 1 second. All right.
16 health.
Let's see. Bandasura is going to prop himself up on his elbows and say, "That wasn't very nice." He twiddles his fingers at you. Make a will save.
Oh boy.
18.
Fortitude save.
Oh, shit.
Fantasticula. Oh,
All right.
13.
You fall unconscious.
Oh, damn.
Can I do a spellcraft on that?
You notice right as he throws his hand out towards you, he tapped a rod at his side.
Well, that doesn't do me any good if I'm unconscious.
Your hit points fall to 0.
Yeah.
And you are unconscious. James falls over.
Can I do a spellcraft on that?
Sure, go ahead.
Can Erica attempt to heal James?
You may run over and cast a healing spell on James.
I got a 21 on that.
I wouldn't suggest it, though.
What'd you get?
21.
21? Okay, you recognize the spell Phantasmal Killer, but it's got a touch of meta magic that you're not quite familiar with. You may make a second spellcraft check if you like.
Oh boy. Just rolled an 11 from an 18 to be 29.
You know that there is an order of meta magic that takes some of the lethality out of spells. Yes?
No, I was just doing that.
Okay. It's not too far-fetched to then conject that maybe that's why Phantasmal Killer did not kill James. Sam?
I was trying to. Sorry, I couldn't find my spell sheets.
Yeah, you run over to James. You were behind him, so it's not that far.
Yeah, I was right behind him. Erica's gonna cast. Let's try Cure Moderate Wounds.
Okay, roll it.
That's 2, right? Yeah.
That'll be 2d8 plus 9, and half again.
So that'd be 19 halved, which would be plus 9. So it would be 20.
You get 28 hit points back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You begin to right yourself, but note that Felicity was able to jump off before you fell down.
Is she at least getting away?
She's kind of just standing there, kind of looks paralyzed with fear, sort of thing. She has no idea what to do. At about that time, you hear some shouting from one end of the marketplace. Looking over, you see Anarch, Canna, and Merrick's daughter approaching rapidly.
Okay.
As they approach, you see Canna casting a spell over her rapier, and she tosses it to Anarch, who sheathes his sword and catches her rapier, and begins running towards the gallows in the direction of Bandasura. The guards have now cleared away. The construct cleared a path for Ken. Ken is with the construct. It has reached where Makana is now. The guards are now attempting to basically, it looks like try to help the crowd disperse, and it seems that they have given up on recapturing Ken. So, That said, what is Makana doing?
I think she would definitely pause if she noticed James fall over.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's like looking back at James and seeing him get his bearing. She'll just be waiting for him to catch up.
Okay. Okay. James, you stand up.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna look at Felicity, and is it a move action to bring out an item?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
From a bag of holding?
It's not a bag.
Then yeah, it's just a move by action to retrieve something from your pack.
Is it what about to use?
It depends on the item.
Passive disappearance.
That's going to be a standard action to fling it.
Okay. I fling it towards her. I tell her to run.
Okay. Before your eyes, Felicity disappears. That's the duration.
Yeah. 8 rounds.
All right. Addis, you doing anything?
Continuing to run.
Well, I was waiting for y'all to escape so I could escape with y'all. I'm gonna try a spell. Bestow curse on him.
You have to be. That's got a range of touch.
Oh, it's touch?
Yep.
Touch a rock and then throw it at him.
Here, take this cursed rock. Thanks. I'll curse someone with it.
You know, you joke, but there was one combat session in that other campaign where Lily silenced a rock and then kept throwing it at the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
Stop casting.
Funny. Which reminds me, yarn was one of the things that I bought.
Yarn?
Remember we talked about this
You're taking up
Yarn.
knitting?
for the Roxa shop because he's a cat.
Oh, right.
Like, are we actually fighting this guy or are we escaping?
Okay, so
Give him a
Nobody's thrown a punch at him so far.
Okay.
what you doing?
No, but I want it to be noted that Erica's not going to leave the Sellsword Lords there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they look like they're about to fight, I mean, Makana's going to step up to the task, but she definitely does not want to fight right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go invisible. Invisibility greater.
Okay. You use greater invisibility on yourself.
One
Yes.
threatened goes invisible.
Hey, man. Hey. Seeing the Sellsword Lords rapidly approaching, Bandasura stands up to his full height, dusts himself off a little bit, and says, the fun's already done. And casts a spell.
Can Makana spellcraft?
Sure.
Can Erica use the spell magic as a counterspell?
You have to have been concentrating on dispelling them a full round previous. Last round, you used your turn to cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
Which I appreciate.
That's only going to be a 14.
Bandasura vanishes.
Shit.
He vanishes.
Yep.
Is he invisible? Can I spellcraft that?
Yeah, spellcraft that.
It's dimension door.
You
guys.
tell me, Mr. Wizard.
9 plus 18, 27.
You recognize the spell Teleport.
Oh.
Of course.
Hell, it is a teleporting spell.
All right.
Erica's just going to say, I'm so sick of him doing that.
Yeah, Makana, like with Ken in tow, is going to say, let's get out of here.
Erica's going to stop Makana and say he still has to pay for the things that he's done, Makana.
Let's get his account.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do from there.
Kana reaches you and begins casting invisibility on each of you in rapid succession. She says, "City Core, now go."
Can I reach out to where Felicity was last seen and see if she was still there?
Yes, Phyllis. You hear Felicity whisper, "I'm here."
Okay. I've helped her onto my back, and we go.
Okay. After about a little over a minute, she reappears, and Kana is quick to cloak her with an invisibility spell. Words.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes. Trickery domain.
It's awesome.
Not because Makana wants to loot his bejeweled body, but how does the noble look that got taken down instantly?
He looks really dead.
Are people like surrounding him?
No. There is one guard who is crouched by his body, kind of just looking around really rapidly.
Like, what the fuck happened?
He's looking to see if he can loot it during the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, she'd want to take like his noble signet or something, just for like investigation. But she's just gonna leave it and go.
Okay. All right. So you all make your way to the city core.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once you make it to the gates, Kana dismisses the invisibility. Standing at the beginning of the city gates is a man dressed in priest's vestments. As you approach, he turns to the guards and gestures towards them. They begin opening the gate into the city core. He gestures for you to quickly follow him in.
We follow.
Okay. Once you're inside, he begins speaking very rapidly. He's speaking in a tongue that most of you don't recognize. If you know Celestial, you can understand the conversation.
I think Makana knows that.
If he knows what?
Celestial.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No.
The one character I built that does not know Celestial. I get that literally every single campaign.
I know Celestial.
James knows Celestial?
No.
I know Celestial.
I comprehend language, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Celestial?
I do.
Addis does.
Addis does. Okay.
I
Addis,
love
you
everybody
hear
running.
the following conversation between Kana and this priest. Should have been contacted. I am one of the chief justices, after all. Kana says, "Right, that's why we tried to make haste. Thought something was a little bit off if the execution could be rushed that quickly." The justice nods. "All right, well, we'll get to the bottom of this very soon." He turns to you and says,
Fuck y'all. No.
What the hell?
"My name is Kenel Jaffe. I am one of the primary justices here. I have a dual role within the Tower of the Divine. I am a priest of Cuthbert. We shall soon get to the bottom of this and mete out an appropriate punishment for your friend here, if indeed he is guilty of any crimes at all. Follow me. We will go to my office post-haste." You follow the justice?
Yes.
Yes.
You make your way to the Tower of the Divine. At first, the guards at the bottom of the tower begin to stand up and look like they're going into their regular routine until they notice who you're running with. He then waves them aside and says, "Official court business." They nod and say, "Absolutely." You are led in past the second floor of the tower, past the third floor of the tower, all the way up to the fourth and final floor of the tower. The fourth floor of the stairwell is just this ring of doors. They are each labeled with a person's name. You wander until you see Justice Jaffe, and he opens the door and beckons you inside. Inside, this place is full of holy symbols of depictions of Cuthbert's holy symbol, which is can't remember it. Player's handbook right here, literally right in front of me.
Yeah.
You see a weapon rack with several cudgels upon it.
Cudgels?
Clubs, yes, clubs of all kinds, blunt weapons.
Okay.
Weapons.
Yes.
Judy has a blunt weapon, but he uses it to stab.
Stab. I think you're.
Gone.
Yeah.
Focus.
Sorry. Oh yeah, the mic's right there.
Yes, the mic is right there. Everybody on the internet heard you say that, dear.
Stab.
So, once inside, he turns to your group and says, "Now, let me see this perpetrator." Ken steps forward, and he looks to Ken and says, "Now, I imagine it's much more preferable, but you will submit, of course, to a zone of truth." Ken nods, and the justice casts zone of truth.
Oh, surprise!
Ooh, what a shocker. Ken recounts his...
Can I do a spell check on that?
The justice says, "Now, speak with truth, my son. Have you committed any theft of your own volition?" Ken admits that he had plotted to do so, but the only equipment that he pilfered was equipment that he pilfered under duress. The justice nods and says, "And did you commit violence?" Ken will nod at this and say, "Again, under duress." The justice says, "Very well. And what about the vandalism you were accused of?" Ken shakes his head and says, "I destroyed no property." The justice nods and says, "And the grave robbing?" Ken shakes his head. "No involvement, sir." The justice nods and says, "Well, that is very good. That would be all the charges. Have you anything else to confess, my son?" Ken looks around and says, "No, sir." The justice nods. "Very good. Now, unfortunately, even being under duress does not absolve you completely of your crimes. As I have been informed, there is still the answer of at least one murder that you would need to answer for, and burglary is not something that we smile upon here in Califax. To that end, as I discussed with my dear friend Kana, I am willing, prepared, and able to bequeath upon you at least 2 marks of justice. If any others come forward and demand additionals, that may need to be carried out upon you. But I think we can all agree it's much more preferable to an unlawful hanging.
Anna's gonna speak up. Can she do a diplomacy check?
Sure.
She's gonna say, I think our friend here has already more than paid for his crimes. He could have been killed today. It's a miracle his neck couldn't snap when he fell through the rope, and it's also a miracle that I was there to stop him from completely being killed before he was even given a sentence. By the laws, I think the system is at fault and he should be absolved. And that awful diplomacy check. 7 plus 12 is going to be 19.
The justice will give you a very scrutinizing glance, and he says, it was not a law-approved sentence that was carried out, or was attempted to be carried out, nor was it approved by any justices. I do not know on what authority and who carried these things out.
Can Erica
Rest assured that I will see to it that we investigate this matter fully.
Can
Now,
Erica step forward and say that we spoke to whatever his name was?
what was his name?
I don't remember.
Makana remembers. It was David Seuss. Seuss. S-O-U-S.
Sooth.
Seuss.
T-H.
Oh, T-H. Okay. I'm sorry. It came through as like S on my headphones. Seuss.
The justice nods and says, very well. If you would like to seek for reparations, I would begin with the estate of Seuss.
He's dead.
Well then, you may struggle in that endeavor. However, as for the city, as this was not condoned by or an order or edict given by an official of the city, I cannot speak for any liability on the city's part. However, even if we were to issue a statement, the fact of the matter remains that your friend here did commit violence and did commit theft. As I said, as per our law structure, even under duress, it does not absolve you of these things. For example, even if the threat was kill this person or I shall kill you, in accordance with Califax law, you would be expected to not take another man's life. This is the way our laws are written. You should only do unto others that you are prepared to have visited upon you. I'm sure if the tables were flipped and it was, and you were sitting in the position that someone else sat in, it would not be as clear-cut a call on your part. For instance, what if I had a knife placed to my throat and I, say, murdered my dear friend Kana here? Should Anarch then be expected to not see any punishment meted out upon me? Would that be right? Would that be fair? Would that be just?
But I feel Ken has already suffered punishment far more than what was due to him.
He nods.
And if he can't seek reparations for that, he should at least be absolved of the crimes held against him.
But the justice nods and says, I see what your side of the argument is. But what I am trying to say is that, as per our law, I am bound to carry out this sentence as I see fit. I understand that your friend has suffered, but this would do nothing to placate anyone who feels that they have been wronged by what he has done.
Can Makana do a religion check on Cuthbert?
Sure.
Because she's kind of seeking, like, would justice over like the laws of the land be something that this guy holds as an ideal? And that religion check is she's going to spend a PowerPoint on it, and it is going to be a 22.
Okay. You know that Cuthbert is the god of retribution. He is lawful neutral. He preaches balance to his disciples. If there is a wrong, it must be righted. As simple as that. If there is a law that is unjust, then it should be repealed and written anew so that it is more balanced. But at the core of it, they seek to make sure that the scales are balanced. And in this case, you can't really find a fault in this guy's religion for what he's mandating. Or at least, you can't really... He seems to be acting in the interest of his deity.
Okay.
Because on the one side, you have a fair amount of goods were stolen, and by Ken's own actions, there is a dead man. On the other side of the scales, he had his wealth and everything that he had confiscated from him, which he could receive back from the guard station. And he's not dead, so it's not even. The people of Cuthbert are very much eye for an eye sort.
You stab me, I stab you.
Fair enough. I think Makana's still sitting a little salty about it.
She became insulted.
I don't think she'd argue much more.
The justice says, now, it will take us some time to investigate these things, but I would ask that you remain within the city limits.
I'm never going to leave Calfax.
If you like, I can arrange to have a contingent of town guard escort and watch over you until such time as a proper punishment can be divvied out.
They're going to watch you while you sleep.
Yeah, they are.
It's going to be creepy. Don't stick your thingy in that thing. Don't stick it in that person's ear.
Anything to add?
Oh, oops.
No belly buttons.
Makana's just gonna kind of like, and hey, well, we were forbidden from leaving before, so nothing's really changed.
He nods. Very well. I would like for Ken to stay here with me for a time being so that the proper orders and jurisdictions may be carried out properly.
Erica's going to speak up and say, may I stay with him?
You may.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just whispering.
Don, I love you.
Do
I
you mind?
love you.
Sure, I thought.
Do you mind?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying not to be
All right, so
disruptive.
for the rest of the party, now that that's been resolved, what now?
I don't know.
Did we go back to the inn?
Yep, you go back to the inn.
Fantastic.
So you guys meet up back at the inn?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Once you get back to the inn, the sellsword lords nod and say, "That's enough adventure for now. We shall be departing shortly. If there's anything else that you would like us to, if there's another contract that you would have us pursue, now's the time to mention it."
Is Anarch there?
Yes.
Makana's gonna ask Anarch, do you have history with Brody? I think he mentioned it, I'm just not 100% certain.
The group he's with, he has history with. It's the...
I know the Black Flame cult killed people of his.
Anarch will say, "I have had dealings with the Rakshasa in the past, but I never did learn its name. And it's been a while, so I can't really remember any of its features. But I have had dealings with... what?
Whatever it's called.
Chupacabra?
No.
I've had dealings with both the Black Flame cult and a group known as the Bronze Dawn. None too favorable, mind you, but dealings all the same. I do not believe they have worked in close proximity with such foul beings as Rakshasas before."
Yeah, this one seemed to know you, or at least know of your combat potential.
Okay.
It's the first time I've seen him run from a fight.
He nods and says, "It would most likely be more accurate to say that he recognized a particular combination of things. You see, a Rakshasa's hide is quite impenetrable except to a certain array of weapons. Those that stab and are blessed by a priest. After last night's run-in with the Rakshasa, Kana thought it wise to prepare such a spell that we would need. And with her rapier, I would be quite capable of taking him down."
Well,
Kana's a wizard, right?
Kana is a cleric.
Oh, is a cleric.
Amos is the wizard.
Oh, okay. Makana's gonna ask, can that spell be put on a wand?
He nods and says, "I don't see why not."
Would it be too much to ask you to craft us one before you go? And we'd be willing to pay the price?
He turns to Kana, and Kana shakes her head and he says, "Creating magic items is not one of our areas of expertise. You might ask Felicity. She does not know, if she cannot do it herself, she may know of somebody who does.
Is she there with us?
She is. She shakes her head and says, not anybody in Califax, but let's see. I think definitely in Dradus. If not there, then Hildonan, absolutely. Failing that, I suppose there is always... That does seem to be the sort of thing that the Knights of the Chalice would have in their possession. But that is a ways from here.
Well, we can't leave the city at the moment.
What? I should have put it in my ink book.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was talking, but I forgot to mute my microphone to blow my nose. Makana's going to ask them, are you guys leaving first thing in the morning?
He said, we're actually going to be leaving quite soon. If you recall, it was morning when all of this was happening. It's just a little bit before noon right now.
We had a busy morning.
You had a busy morning.
Is your wizard able to cast Sending?
Anarch nods.
If I give you the name of the Rakshasa, could I pay for her spell slots to communicate with him briefly?
Anarch will furrow his brow and say, I suppose. Why do you ask? What message would you have her send?
Well, we've ran into this Rakshasa quite a few times now, and I'd like to say it's starting to become a trend, but each time we run into him, his actions are different between being aggressive, taunting us, and being passive. I would like to get an inclination of his intentions and then decide our course of action. If it comes to it that we have to kill him, we need to equip ourselves with the means to do so. If we just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, we can just try harder to avoid him.
He nods and says, true. But, as I recall, your cleric already has the capacity to cast that spell in particular. I would ask her before you spend money with us. Our rates are not cheap.
Oh, Makana's going to turn to Erica and say, you can cast that?
Erica is back at the tower.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, I will actually seek that from her. I did not know she could.
Anna should be able to do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you copy Sending to your book? Addis is a pretty combat-oriented wizard.
What spell level?
I think it's like 4th this edition, or?
I think it's 5th or 3rd.
Let's see.
You should so legit ask Anarch why he knows that Erica can do that.
It's 4th level for clerics. It is... Oh, goodness.
It's either 5th or 3rd.
Let me just look at the spell entry.
Sending.
Yes, Sending. Sorcerer Wizard 5th. Cleric 4th.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll ask Erica.
With that, the Sellsword Lords begin going about preparing to depart.
Makana's going to ask them, were you guys cleared to leave the city?
Anarch nods and says, yes, we have actually kept a fairly low profile. Our only main infractions have been, let's see, we were technically witnesses to the first rampage yesterday, and today he leans in close and says, well, we were not seen doing anything. So there's nothing on the record.
Lucky, I dream of that day when we'll be allowed to leave.
He nods. I would not worry. Justice Jaffe, he is a fair man. He is quite level-headed. He will attempt to make sure that nothing too terribly unfair transpires. But he did have a point. There are still crimes for your friend to answer for, and, well, if anybody were to mete out that punishment, I would prefer it to be Justice Jaffe. You are in good hands.
We ain't gonna die.
So, I do not think it will be too long. Possibly another day, but as long as you keep your noses out of trouble. I know how hard that is sometimes.
We're great at that. Quite possibly the best nose keeper out of troublers.
He will raise an eyebrow and says, do not worry. Simply allow things to happen, and they shall. Now, once more, is there anything else that we can do for you?
Makana's gonna shake her head and say, no, I think you guys have done more than enough. Is there anything we can do for you?
He chuckles and says, nonsense. Meeting colleagues in the field is always a pleasure. I shall, as I've discussed previously, we shall be heading to Fort Brett. I am loath to return to my old stomping grounds, as it were, but that is where our first contact is. From there, I have no idea where we shall go, but my best bet after that, unless we learn anything, would most likely be Lorifin. In either case, we do have a small safe house in Lorifin that you should be able to find fairly easily. It is a property registered under our company name, the Sellsword Lords. You can get approval to stay there from... what is his name? If you speak with a man by the name of Gilliam Garth, you should be able to... he should let you in. He is...
Sorry. I just wanted to feel it.
Gilliam Garth has the keys to our estate, and he knows that we have a very many friends. He can contact us with a sending, and he can let you stay in the abode. We would ask that you not steal anything, but Gilliam is quite paranoid. He would prevent such a thing.
All right. Gillian Garth. I'm writing it down. Makana is gonna just like say, well, we are exiled, but we are in charge of the town of Duro. So I guess if you're ever in that region, write us.
He turns to Kana, whispers something, and she says, no, remember? That's what you described as, this is nothing more than a pit of dirt. He goes, oh.
That's our pit of dirt.
He nods, yes, your pit of dirt. Well, I doubt we shall be in that direction, but if we do, we shall, should we mention your name or not?
Don't mention us, but write us and tell us how the town's doing.
Certainly.
We're about due to return and out of character, burn it down again soon.
Very well.
Yeah, that's about all she has to say to them.
Okay. He says, for the time being, we will be preparing in our room. If you have anything else to do, do so. And may fortune favor you. I know it has been a bleak couple of days, but things will turn out for you. With that, they file into their rooms. You have just finished up your business with Amos.
Yay. Fun times.
Some would say. Others would say, oh God, my pelvis. But
No, not really.
so they file back into the room and begin to pack things up.
Well, Lord will help them and ask them how their day was.
Kana says, more exciting than we were imagining our last day in the city would be.
Oh?
Yes, there was another run-in with that Rakshasa fellow. Many more people dead. On the plus side, it would appear that we prevented a hanging, so that's good, I think.
Hey, the hanging was already prevented by the time they got there.
Do you say that to them?
Oh, I'm not there.
Okay. After they, it's a couple of hours before they finish packing, but once they do so, they take their leave of the inn and head out the north gate.
Lord gives almost a kiss. Look at his Kana's hand.
Yeah, James will say his goodbyes.
Amos definitely returns the favor. Kana will curtsy.
He'll give a wave to Patience and Anna.
Patience flips you off. Anarch gives you a salute as he leaves.
Let me know if I can ever assist you guys.
With lower back pain.
All right. So,
Quite the item finder. If you ever find yourself looking for an item.
now what?
That's a good question. You can't leave.
Can't
Suddenly,
leave.
people find themselves with glorious adventures in the city. So now,
Now you get those things that Leah sent you earlier.
All right.
Yay.
Is Erica back yet?
no, she's staying at the tower.
No, not yet.
Okay. I guess Makana's gonna go and try and find information on Davin Self.
Sooth?
Or yeah, Davin Sooth, sorry.
Okay. Roll a gather information check.
Okay. like her worst skill. I don't think I put anything into that, and I don't think it's on her class list either.
You could
Yeah.
ask Leroy to come with you.
I mean, she would tell the party what she's doing because of her rule of bring Addis. That's going to be an 8, but yeah, she would also announce where she's going if anybody wanted to come.
Okay.
Leroy will come.
Where is it?
All right.
It seems safe.
They're going to go investigate Dave and Sooth.
Did I roll that right? No, I don't think I did.
Less investigation and more like just demand money from.
I got 20.
Wrong way.
Gather information.
Huh?
20 on gather information.
Okay. You manage to do manage to find where his estate is. It's not very heavily guarded, but there is a pair of private guards at the gates to the estate. Past the gates, there is a path that goes through a rather small but finely kept garden. And there is a 2-story manor on the grounds. You can see that there is some sort of backyard of sorts behind the house, but that's about all you can see from there. What would you like to do? You know what? Before we get to this, let's real quick take a short intermission.
Okay.
Tea break, if you will. And we'll be back about 5 minutes or so.
All right.
Now, if only we had character intros to play for the audience.
Probably could find something.
Let's not though. It doesn't come out good on the audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lag.
Yeah. That and every so has somebody talks, it cuts off.
So the reason I asked if you should ask how he knew Erica could do that is because in the middle of the combat the previous night, she had sent for him because there was only Nkana and Merak's daughter that was with them, and he and Amos arrived naked or in their skivvies with his weapon drawn to attack them.
Oh. Yeah, the only reason I didn't ask is because I didn't think McConnell would think.
Oh yeah, I know. I was just telling you. I just thought it was really funny.
A good use of sending, though. Yeah, if we have to kill Brody, then we take the journey to the other side of the world. We don't have to kill him. We keep doing whatever we're doing.
Yeah, but the thing is that he keeps showing up where we are. So it's like,
and he doesn't actually want to kill us either.
And he has this weird fascination with Ken.
He might like his butt.
Well, he could have killed James, but didn't.
Wait, he was the executioner guy, right?
He was not the executioner. He was the one standing next to the executioner.
Oh. Well then, how the hell did Ken live?
We kind of cut the rope with a construct.
No, I mean, like, how did the rope not break his neck?
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they just suffocate.
Yeah, I've seen the second Mummy movie, or the first Mummy movie.
Was Bandasura the executioner or the guy behind him?
The executioner.
He was the executioner.
Oh, he was the
So he
executioner.
probably wanted Ken dead.
Yeah, he was the one that pulled the switch. Right? No,
Yeah, that was the executioner, which Bandasura was.
I thought he was the guy in the crowd that asked if you did an investigation.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was too.
Nope. How come you didn't give me one?
Well, what is it?
Please?
You take our shit and then you don't even offer?
Why'd you smack me?
Because you were closer.
The one you had.
That one's empty.
The one that's not white.
Almost all of them.
Nuh-uh.
I bought you like a bottle, and I think he bought you a bottle too. So you have like 2 in there at least.
Do you want some?
Hello.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh shit, you almost spilled his drink all over his paper. So I think Bandasura just likes messing with us. All of us. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right. We all here?
C.
Sam?
Down here. Sorry.
Present.
All right. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to do on this day? Or shall we get on with things?
Let's leave.
Oh, were we able to go into the house?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where we were. The guards ask you if you, what your name is.
McConnell will give her name, McConnell Laurel, and she'll say, in addition to that, the owner of this manor, of Lord Donde Sooth, unlawfully sentenced one of our companions, and we were told by Justicar Jaffe that we could seek reparations.
The guards look at each other and say, Madame Sooth has not left the estate.
Does she have a husband?
She does. He is away on business. If your business is with him, you will have to wait until he returns.
Can McConnell do a sense motive?
Yes, you may.
She got a 11 plus 10, 21.
You get the feeling that these, like almost 90% of the guards in the D&D games that I run, are just trying to do their job.
All right, yeah, she's gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't want to be the I'm sorry to be the one to inform you, but your lord passed away earlier today in the town square.
They glance at each other and they say, we had heard rumors. If this is the case, however, perhaps you should see Mrs. Sooth. They open the gates and proceed to escort you up the trail through the garden.
Right. Mikana's just going to be like chit-chatting with them as they walk and say like, I don't want to run your house's name through the mud. I believe what was done was terrible and can be easily fixed.
The guards look at you and say, we're hired private guards. We try to keep our lives separate from politics.
Understandable. But always finds a way to pull you in, though.
They roll their eyes and say, ain't that the truth? All right, you are brought into a foyer where a couple of servants look at the guards expectantly. One of the guards says, guests for Mrs. Sooth. It is news concerning her husband and the rumors that we have been hearing for the past couple of hours. The one servant nods and rushes off out of the room. The other servant gestures towards a set of chairs around a table. They look quite fine. It's definitely not your average oak wood or anything. You're not quite sure what these chairs are constructed of.
It's mahogany.
But the table is a cast iron frame with a sheet of glass forming the actual table portion of the table. Upon it are several sets of cutlery, and each of them has a glass and a small teacup set upon. A plate and a small teacup set upon the plate. The servant steps over to a small table off to the side and picks up a rather large jug with a spout and begins to pour some sort of colored liquid into each cup. It's definitely not a hot beverage. It doesn't steam. The servant that ran off shortly returns and says, Mrs. Sooth is currently freshening up. She will see you in a few moments. In the meantime, please, indulge yourselves. There will be some biscuits along the way shortly.
Detect poison.
You cast Detect Poison?
Wait,
Okay.
who's all there?
It's everybody except for Ken and Erica.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the doors here are large enough to accommodate a centaur.
Yay. Too bad the chairs aren't.
You have Detect Poison as a sorcerer?
Seeing your...
Yeah, why not?
Because you learned like 5 spells in total.
What? I have like 8.
No, I know, I'm kidding with you, but this is just so uncanny.
I didn't know what to get. Wait, it might
Seeing
not be
the
that.
state of your being a goddamn horse, servants do move a couple of chairs away from the table.
No, I lied. I didn't take detect poison. I took mage hand.
Well, there we go. You can't mage hand the poison out of your drink.
I could have taken detect poison just to be able to cast that like 8 times.
Oh, is it a 0-level spell?
Yeah.
Through a vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Addis has it.
Addis does have it. Whether or not he prepared it today is another story altogether.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not a common spell. Do you guys try the drink?
Nakata's not going to drink it.
James is going to sniff at it and then he's going to take a sip.
It tastes kind of it's definitely a tea of some sort, but you get undertones of some sort of chocolate mixed in there. It's very sweet.
So not like honey, but chocolate.
Something vaguely chocolate-like, yeah,
Like mocha.
possibly.
Poison.
Okay, I'm not doing it this time.
I'm stopping.
Shortly, just as the servants promised, there are biscuits.
Oh boy.
Well, it's not poison, James says. If anybody's thinking it.
Roll fortitude. I'm kidding.
I was going to, too. Failed one. Hey, let's go for another.
So,
Even the pinky's out.
do you guys try any of the biscuits?
Addis does.
They're a bit dry, in your opinion.
Woo. Those
Did
are
you just
good
woof?
biscuits.
But they're bread-based confections.
Do I need to make a fortitude save?
No. You need to make a palate check to determine whether or not you want more. I am just kidding.
I got a nat 20 on that.
Okay, well, maybe not. They're not the best.
Do
Don't
they
want to
taste
spoil your lunch.
Yeah, of course, obviously. All right, so after a few more minutes, the servants return and ask you to follow them. You're led into another chamber, a hallway with several, you would probably say too many chandeliers hanging from the ceiling.
so uncomfortable?
Yeah, the centaur kind of has to duck his head down a little bit in order to be able to pass through here. At the end of the hallway, there is a door that leads into the backyard. Out on this backyard, there is a small porch that overlooks an entirely too green lawn out before you. It is ringed with flower bushes of all sorts, all colors, trimmed into different topiary shapes. They sway gently in the cool breeze. Upon the porch, there are a number of chairs, and upon the largest and most comfortable looking, there sits an older woman. She looks mostly human, but also kind of dwarvish. She's short, definitely stocky. Has sort of a solid and very angular features that you would associate with a dwarf. As you approach, she stands to a full towering height of 5'2", and says, well, guests. And who do we be having here? The servants look at each of you in turn.
Introductions.
Leroy will step forward and do a very fancy bow and introduce himself.
After you introduce yourself, she says, boy, we're not at court. No need for such formalities.
James does so less formally.
On the ground.
No!
My name.
My name's James. I was raised on a farm. How y'all?
You introduce yourself as?
Full name, James Horace Baxter.
She says, oh, I get it. Wordplay. She turns to Addis and gestures towards you.
Addis Vallis at your service.
She says, don't promise yourself to anything you can't fulfill, dear.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, Makana's going to look at Addis and say, at her service, you're at my service.
She gives a hearty laugh before she turns to Makana.
Makana will just like nod respectfully and say, Makana Leverell, we came to talk to you about matters that are not so lighthearted.
She says, my boys here, they told me that it was some business to do about my husband. Have you got news of him?
Unfortunately, he passed away today. He was killed in the town square.
She nods gravely a little bit and says, "Are you sure?"
Makana is gonna describe the jewelry around his neck, like whatever he had to identify him, because she was like looking at it pretty intensely.
She wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, no, she wanted to like have it as like an insignia to investigate him later.
Yeah. She says, "Will you be providing that much detail? You must be sure of what you're saying." Thank God. Oh.
You didn't like him?
Did you meet the man?
He was very unpleasant, but I mean, he's still married.
Absolutely. Oh,
Such a
goodness gracious.
such a lady, such as yourself, shouldn't be shackled down.
She nods. Oh, and there were shackles. Oh, Moradin's good graces. This calls for some celebration. What do you have? What's your preferred drink? No? All right. Boys, the wine. Get the wine. You know the wine I'm talking about. The servants bustle off, and she sits back in her chair and leans back, spreads her legs out wide, and says, "Oh, I could not stand another year of that man. Oh, thank the gods."
Well,
tell me. They say that he was frozen solid along with some of the other crowds. Is this true?
This is just as a player. I thought the frozen spell was like launched into the crowd, and then he shot the guy with a lightning bolt.
Phantasmal killer.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, Benkana will say, no, he died instantly. I thought you might take comfort in that there was no pain, but that may not be the case.
She shakes her head and says, "Oh, no. Horrible, rubbish heap of a man." Yes.
If he killed him with Phantasmal Killer, then how come I didn't kill James?
They can use the meta magic rod to make it non-lethal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Before he passed, though, he might have caused your family a lot of trouble.
She rolls her eyes and says, "Trouble. The man was trouble from the beginning. I should have listened to my mother. Oh, always thinking that he was the law. He would scream it, 'I am the law.'" Rubbish heap of a man. The world is better without him. Oh.
Felicity's there too, right?
Yes, Felicity is just...
Yeah, James is like that too. Like, I don't know how to react to this.
She says, "I don't suppose it was you who turned him in, who did him in."
No, he kind of did himself in. He ordered an unlawful execution, and because of that execution, a lot of people lost their lives in the town square.
She nodded and said, "Oh, well, you know, attracting flies, vinegar, all that. I was told that there was some sort of adventurer on the stands about to be executed. I don't suppose it was any of you. You look the type, certainly. Armos always tells of how adventurers look, and you seem to match the part."
Oh, you know Arnos?
Yes, he's a distant cousin of mine, but my family is not of the Delzoon line. No, we are half-dwarves. That's why we came to Califax instead of staying in Lorfin. It's more pleasant here. At least to non-dwarves, I should say. But in any case, none of you were harmed, were you? I only assume because you don't look like you spent the night in a jail cell.
Not by your... I'm not sure what to call him now.
Late husband.
Too hurt right now. It's usually just whenever it's
Thank you.
plus subject to leave. Hard to know all this shit. I'm just doing stuff.
So none of you were harmed then?
We weren't harmed, but one of our companions. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, one of our companions was unlawfully persecuted by your husband's orders. We were told we could seek reparations.
She nods and says, "Aye, that you can. He was nearly hanged, but you saved him, correct?"
Yes.
Very well. She claps her hands, and a servant appears immediately and says, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Go fetch. Go fetch an appropriately sized reward for one of my husband's blunders." The servant nods and rushes off. She says, "I imagine that this should be able to soothe any troubles."
Well,
Let me, please. Two servants return with several wine glasses and 2 large bottles of wine.
Makana will say, "Yeah, this is fine. We didn't want to cause any trouble. Really, the principle of the matter, but I'm just happy to know that you feel equally on the matter as we do."
She nods. Rubbish heap of a man. All right. You spend a few minutes drinking with Madame Sooth.
Who gets drunk?
You do manage. She's quite open. She's quite open with her life. She married Sooth because he was an influential figure in the political system of Califax. But all of the luxurious wealth that you see before you is from her family. She was quite wealthy back in Lorfin, but didn't like all the stink eyes that she was getting from the dwarves. So she and her mother moved into Califax and basically just set up here. And let me roll to see whether or not she's overindulgent. No, she's good.
You were open. Is that 13?
No, that's a 19.
Oh,
The woman can hold her alcohol.
I rolled a...
Laura's gonna flirt with her.
She's going to flirt back, but harder.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you want this.
That's okay.
Her fortitude is great.
She's half dwarf.
Her fortitude is really great.
Her constitution.
By association, her fortitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Makana is gonna try and persuade Leroy not to do that and say, "Come on, the woman's a widow."
I don't think she cares.
Well, somebody has to make her happy.
I think she's happy enough as is today.
Hear this news.
As you're having this conversation, one of the servants returns and presents Makana with a sizable box.
That's a treasure chest.
She'll open it.
Where is the DMG?
Right here.
You find in the box is a small, well, not small, I wouldn't say, but a deck of cards.
Oh, it's the cards. The Terrier deck.
I think you should get that to Ken.
She says, "That's a little treasure of mine, but I don't mind parting with it. It's a device called a deck of illusions. I have had to use some of it, but fortunately, there should be enough to make it a more than substantial reward for the lot of you. Do take it."
Holy crap.
Makana's she's gonna close the box and say, she's gonna close the box and put it back on the table and say, "While this is a reward I'm very appreciative of, it is far more than what I was hoping to get."
Oh, well, if you're sure then. And snaps to the servant. The servant whisks the box away.
Well, Makana's gonna stop. Makana's gonna stop the servant before they do.
It's far too late for that. The servant
Okay.
is gone.
Yeah, he's gonna say, "Hear me out. I imagine if the authorities investigate the matters of your husband a little bit more, that they're gonna come to your door asking questions. And you've been more than gracious to us, and you can expect our silence on the matter. And perhaps..."
She raises an eyebrow and says, "Dear, you did hear me say that I married him for his political powers, and, well, what is the term? I believe it is a slow assumption of power? No. Either way, I shall be untouched in this matter. Believe me. I will be fine."
Well, I would also... That's what I was hoping for. Our friend is in need of character witnesses. Perhaps a good word from you instead in his case would lighten the outcome of his sentence.
Certainly. Certainly.
Makana's gonna ask, "Could you write it down that we have an accord?"
She snaps her fingers again, and another servant appears with a piece of parchment and a quill. She takes the quill and scribbles something onto the paper, and she hands you the bit of paper. It says, "It's handy to have things drawn up in advance."
Makana's... It's not in Celestial, is it?
No, it looks to be in common.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she'll glance over it and say, thank you. This is all the reparations that I came here for today."
She nods. "Oh, well. Happy to be of service."
Might I be of service to you?
She gives you a grin, steps over to you, takes the wine glass from your hand, sets it down on the table, lifts you over her shoulder, and walks into the house.
Rip Leroy.
You better hope she's a taker and not a giver.
What?
So, you are now alone in a garden.
Well, we're not completely alone.
You have yourselves and a pair of servants watching you.
Gotta be honest, not sure what to do here. I mean,
Yeah.
I was expecting the reaction, first of all.
Yeah, Makana's good here. She's fine. She got everything she wanted.
Should we leave?
Okay.
Should we wait for Leroy?
Do you depart?
Roy yells back as they're going into the house. I'll meet you guys later.
Should we jerk off? I don't know.
Definitely.
Roy would want us to.
I have to get somebody to do it for me. I can't reach.
Oh man, that's got to be a rough existence.
She'll do a right check too.
No wonder James is so uptight.
Yeah.
Guys.
Huh?
Please.
This is live.
All right. So I think that's about all the loose threads, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're about done with this arc. It's starting to get a bit boring, I think. There are bigger and better rainbows to run underneath.
We're gonna.
Of course, JD, there would be like the nuances of Makana would make sure like the letter is delivered to who's ever like handling Ken's case.
Yeah. That would be Justice Jaffe. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with just saying, she gave it to him, and the lady spoke a good word about Ken and not wanting much more punishment done to him.
Yeah.
Unless you want to RP it.
Sorry.
I made a list of names so that I didn't have to sit there, like, thinking about what name to give these guys. Doesn't matter. Forget them.
Hey, I remembered. I wrote them all down. Oh, actually, I didn't write down the wife's name. I don't think we learned the wife's name.
Is this Jeffrey?
No, his name is, I think, let me look at it. It's Canal Jaffe.
There you go.
But his title is Justice.
Oh.
Who?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. You made it sound like a gaff.
Anyway.
Do I need to make constitution checks?
You can't make that profession check now.
Why not?
You're indisposed
Whatever.
for a while.
I mean, he only needs 2 hours of sleep.
Sure.
But was she on top?
Doesn't matter.
It might.
Anyway, so
She does the up and down.
uses all your.
Am I the only one who's ever heard that term before?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
I think I first heard that on Scrubs.
Really?
I gotta find the episode I heard it on.
Could you?
JD and Turk were talking about sexy times.
Anyway, so
What time do I get back to the end?
The next day.
5
Oh, okay. I
a.m.
still have time. Oh,
a.m.
Never mind.
Oh.
You're gone for quite some time. The party begins to worry about you.
He has fun.
That's debatable.
Not everybody worries about you. They know you're fine. You're just getting it.
Can I get some pillow talk with that?
Sure.
Some people are getting jelly.
So, we'll fast forward through the day. Erica and Ken remain at the Tower of the Divine while they watch Canal Jaffe receive many visitors that day. Most of them seeming to do with the business of Ken. A lot of them are official guardsmen. And one guard captain in particular, the Braun Derai. And yeah, it's a pretty boring day watching him do paperwork essentially all day. He mostly doesn't speak to you either, so. But it seems like progress is being made. Meanwhile, the rest of the party goes back to the inn and finds it just a little bit more quiet now that the Sellsword Lords aren't here. This is short-lived, as the room is quickly occupied by another set of people.
Ooh.
Neat.
They're peasants.
We could party with peasants.
Refugees by your estimation.
Want to catch something worthwhile, guys?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So,
Can we fast forward?
yeah. The next day...
We could leave. Right?
Yes, actually.
Yay!
Finally.
The
Oh crap, I forgot a shirt.
the results of all of the carrying on and such is that Ken will be allowed to leave the city, and indeed the Towers of the Divine, but he has been found guilty still of two things. One, well, three things actually. One, conspiring against the state. Two, murder in the first degree of a guard captain, no less. And three, theft of government property. To that end, Justice Jaffe has declared that he shall mark Ken with 3 marks of justice to prevent and discourage further wrongdoing down the road. Erica shall be declared his warden, the one around whom these spells center. If at a time in the future, Erica feels that he has properly served his sentence with a minimal number of activated marks, then they shall be removed. However, the minimum amount of time that he must have these marks on him is a year. After that time, he is certainly welcome to return to Califax and show his change of heart.
Or just go there as a bleeding heart.
Possibly. You get all that, Erica?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay. All right.
Are the specification of the marks the ones that you sent me previously?
Yes. And since this is, the party was called to the Tower of the Divine, where they're going to be inscribing these marks. The 3rd floor. No. Not the Tower of the Divine. It's going to be in the central, the records building, which in certain times doubles as a courthouse on the 3rd floor. Past all the records. There's a courtroom.
Behind a bookshelf?
No, it's just it's basically just a large empty room with a bunch of chairs in it. There is a large circular space in the middle where people can make their arguments.
Like a conference room.
Yeah, pretty much. The justice addresses the party and says, this is what I have found to be most just. If you have a case to make for yourself, you may go ahead and do so.
What do the marks of justice entail? What do they activate on?
The marks of
You
justice
want me to read it?
will be as follows. Kenneth Cade shall commit no violence to a living creature within 1 mile of a city or within a city. He shall go no further than 1 mile away from his warden, Erica. And lastly, he shall commit no violence to a creature that is not threatening himself or Erica, even outside the mile radius of a city.
So, wait, don't the first one and second one contradict if he has to defend himself?
Potentially.
You have to understand our profession is very dangerous, and there are times when we can't foresee what's going to attack us. And him being unable to defend himself, you might as well sentence him to death. Do the second or do the last two marks not do it enough? Is the first one really necessary?
If you like, we could exchange that one for a differently worded one, but you may like that one less.
What is it?
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about a man who I keep around to stab things being unable to stab things would fare out in the world. What would you replace it with?
Let's see. Perhaps in an effort to inhibit his burglary tendencies, we could fit in a clause having to do with entering an abode by way that is not a door.
How about without permission being granted?
Right. Rather like a vampire. Certainly. We shall replace that one then with, he shall enter no abode without being invited.
Fluffy would be happy.
But he doesn't know.
With the same consequences?
And inviting him in.
DM to player, I'd have to switch around the consequences. But I think they would remain the same, just tied to different ones.
Okay.
But I'd have to get back to you on that one. Okay.
That's perfect. I just wanted to make sure because I'm writing them out so I don't forget them.
Say what, Tom?
Did you write them down?
I did. Let's see. Let me just change that one. All right. In that case, he shall enter no abode that he is not invited into. He shall go no farther than 1 mile away from Erica, and he shall commit no violence to a creature that is not threatening himself nor Erica. These are agreeable.
Yes.
Very well. The inscription process will take merely half of an hour, after which point you will be permitted to leave. Also, just very quickly of note, we have been unable to locate the confiscated items. It seems they have gone missing.
Oh, we'll figure it out in due time.
Indeed. And may I just point out, originally, I was only planning on inscribing 2 marks of justice upon Kenneth. But there were certain concerns brought to my attention by some of my colleagues, and it was seen necessary to apply a 3rd one, or fine your group an amount equaling the damages in question. I trust that you would prefer the 3rd mark.
The fine 60,000 gold.
Well, 60,000 gold matches the physical damages that you're associated with. What it does not match is the damages for loss of life. Although, I'm quite certain that you are unprepared to pay that fine.
I mean, would it have to be paid in completion?
Either in a lump sum, or you could have an installment period set. But as interest would apply to that debt, it's seen as a less popular option. By all means, I'm perfectly happy to let you pay it if you so choose, but I thought it would be nice to let you have options.
I wish Chris was here, because I feel like, this is just as a player, I feel like the option here would be to say, yeah, we'll pay it, and then just leave town and never come back.
Well, just player to player, Chris was aware of the chance of getting these marks in advance and their penalties, and he agreed to them.
Yeah.
And James wouldn't leave town.
And, this is a pretty big town, kind of in the middle of the continent, that we might need to pass through at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, take the marks.
All right. Ken gets 3 marks of justice. Justice.
I want Chris to know when he goes back and watches this session that Makana fought for him every step of the way.
Yeah.
He did.
You're a trooper.
Woohoo!
True pal. All right. So that said, the justice is an 11th level cleric, so you will have to be of at least level 11 to remove them yourself later on down the road.
Hopefully, by the time a year passes, I will be that.
Hopefully. Probably hit level 11 before a year in game passes, but things could happen. Travel times are long and extensive. I will, in the document where I'm keeping the consequences of it, I'll keep mark of the days remaining.
Thank you.
Start the timer at 365. All right. He pulls Erica aside after the marks have been inscribed and says, and tells you what the command word is. The command word can either activate or deactivate the marks.
Oh boy.
He says it is not to be used lightly.
Use it lightly.
I will be sure that this is handled appropriately.
I trust you shall. Um,
I'm glad you didn't give me that spell.
all right. So it looks like your business here in Califax is done.
Hallelujah. Let's leave.
Yeah, let's go before we cause any more trouble.
Let's burn that into the town. Fireball. Fireball.
I think we should do the sendings real quick before we decide where we're going.
Well, here's the thing. JD, did Erica get enough sleep to get all of her spells back?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't prepare any spells because I didn't know how long that would work.
Okay.
Yeah, McConnell would
Yeah,
definitely take a moment to pull you aside and talk to you about it.
All right. Do you guys want to return to the inn before you do that?
Yeah, we can. We still have to meet up with our carriage.
The carriage got burnt, did it not?
No.
No, the carriage is fine.
Horses do not.
The horses. Yeah, that's right. The horses.
The horses.
Wait, what happened to the horses?
Yeah, what happened to the horses?
Didn't you?
Fried 'em.
Oh no, that was the carriage that Ken was transferred in, not our carriage.
Horses.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been subtracting a gold a day for the guy we hired to watch it.
I thought you said they were.
No,
No, it
there
was the carriage that Ken was moved in. That was burnt.
more than one carriage, right?
Then why'd you say your carriage?
Did I say your carriage?
Yeah,
don't
that's
think you
how
said
I
your
got
carriage.
confused too.
You did.
Okay, no, it wasn't your carriage.
Okay.
I misspoke. My bad.
I was just getting it straight.
All right, so no, your horses are fine.
Yeah.
And Molly's a good dog.
As is
Molly
James.
is a good dog.
He's such a good dog.
Who's a good puppy?
You're a good puppy.
Don't say that. You're waking my dogs up.
All right.
They heard it. You good puppy.
I'm a good puppy. But no, you make it back to the inn. Right about as you start having that conversation, you receive a sending.
Ooh.
Bondasora.
Hey,
Wait, who is you?
because you're right. You receive a sending from Bondasura that says, "Come to the ruins of Radol if you know what's good for you."
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Who received that sending?
Makana,
Why there?
And she can reply to it.
you can reply up to 25 words.
Can she make a wait, Radol? Let me pull up the map. I don't know where that is.
Radol is not listed on the map. It's ruins because it is it was formerly a village. Are a little bit about one hex north east of Antizadel.
Would she be able to do a knowledge history check on it?
Sure.
All right, she's gonna do a knowledge history. Ooh, Lord, I got rolled a 15 plus 4, 19.
All right. You know that Radol was once a farming village. It, however, was subject to bad things. It was raided several times by orcs and finally destroyed by giants several years ago.
All right.
She wouldn't be too thrilled about going there.
Yeah.
Makana was the only one who received that message.
How does Makana respond?
She's gonna say,
Does she tell us?
Yeah.
you're gonna have to or need more information. Send another sending. What do you want? Can we find a common ground?
You receive another sending. It says, common ground, yes. possibly payment, come to Radol.
She can't sense motive it, can she?
She cannot.
Let's do it.
She'll say, "We'll be in contact. Would be easier to talk if you didn't hurl lightning bolts." Let me count out that real quick.
That's under 25.
That was a good one.
I guess until then, truce.
All right.
Would this
You don't receive another sending.
be shared, or would she keep it to herself?
Makana, I'm pretty sure she knows it's from Brody, right?
Yes, you know it's from Bandasora.
Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I had someone come in my room. Yeah, she'll say to... You want to take those out in the living room? She'll say to the party, so even though we were about to send him a sending, guess who contacted me?
Ooh.
Bandasura?
Yes. And Makana's going to look very dryly at Addis and be like, it wasn't that hard. This literally was not that hard. I just set you up for that. I'd be interested to know if we're being watched. But he wants us to come talk to him.
Yeah.
Hey.
I wonder why you heard.
Which I think could be beneficial for both of us if we can get him to stop mass murdering everybody, and we can finally travel freely without him on our backs. That'd be the best option.
Do you think we could trust him, considering?
I don't know. I trust you guys in front of me with my life, and she'll look to like Ken and then Addis and say, and at times you guys have thrown me into danger.
You willingly walked into danger with me.
You shot me. I'm willing to hear him out, but I don't want to put you guys at risk doing it.
I mean, we're meeting up with someone that we can't take.
Well, where is Radol on a map? You said it's a mile east of Anticidel?
I said it.
Bless you. Bless you.
I said it's a little over 1 hex outside of Anticidel to the northwest.
Like, if we had those magical weapons like the Sail Swords had, then we might could stand a chance.
Yeah, we can. Well, I mean, it will be a little bit of a travel to get there. We can gear up on the way. Yeah, Makana's saying this. And so we can gear up on the way. And, wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We can gear up on the way and we can recruit on the way. If we're worried about like him attacking us, I'm near certain Oh gosh, I have her name. I don't have her name down. The lady whose husband was killed by
Wife, Mrs. Soul.
yeah, Mrs. Soul would be willing to accompany us.
Can't think of her first name. It starts with an N.
Soothe. Soothe.
No, not her. Way back in
Oh, Soul.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
yeah, Nikega. There we go. I don't know why I didn't have it was on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I didn't have it written down. She'd probably be willing to accompany us and
You don't remember? She left.
She left to go and find a thingy for her husband.
oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah, she's not in Dratus anymore.
She went on a journey.
I wonder how that journey turned out.
Hope it's going well.
In any case, we can. Well, first of all, the first sending came with a threat. He said, "We'll show up if we know it's good for us." I don't know how he can be any more threatening than he has been, though. But I'm also willing to just communicate with him over the course of a couple days through sending and say everything we have to say without the added danger.
I don't like how close he is to my hometown.
He offered payment, though, if we can find common grounds.
He offered payment, or did he want payment?
He offered payment.
What does payment
Let's
have
go
to do
there.
with anything?
I'll take some money.
So Addis is down. I'm a little hesitant because last time I tried to talk to him, he shot me through the gut with a pretty hefty lightning bolt.
Erica's completely against it. But, I mean, she'll do what the majority of the party wants to do.
Well, James is worried about how close he is to his hometown, so he would probably want to go.
How about
We could always ask to meet on neutral ground.
Makana's going to say, I don't want him anywhere near civilized society. I'm tired of getting blamed for his crimes.
You said it's Radul, right?
Radel, I
Radul.
think.
Yeah. Well, Radul isn't a town anymore. It's ruins.
Yeah. Which is why it makes good meeting grounds. I think we should... It's only a little while from Anticidel, so we should probably buy a few extra horses while we're in Anticidel, and we ride to Radel without the carriage, with every intention of leaving, and we find out what his intentions are, and then we make our decision from there to avoid him or to take him out.
Agreed.
Shouldn't we be better prepared?
Yeah. She'll look at Addis and say, can you make us all scrolls of expeditious retreat or something of that nature, and we'll all just be ready to go when we get there?
I don't know. Can I make that?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. Wizard with scroll scribe as a level 1 ability, can you?
Do I have the money for it?
Scroll is a feat that wizards get for free at first level.
Do I have the money for it?
First level scrolls aren't but like 50 gold.
Okay, I got it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it costs you like 2 experience points too. So
It cost me 2 experience points.
yeah, when you create a magic item, you have to pay a number of experience points equal to the item's base price, divided by 25.
Okay.
Let's see. A scroll of Expeditious Retreat, it's first level spell. It would run you $25 gold. You would pay half of the base price, so 12 gold and 5 silver. It would cost you 1 experience point.
Okay.
This many.
1.
A finger.
That
All right. I make. How many did y'all want?
it
Well,
will-
hold up
Did
on
you
that,
go
'cause
on?
I think you can only cast that on yourself.
no, I'm pretty sure you can cast it on other people.
Oh, I just looked it up on D20. It says target you.
Yeah, but you can still make scrolls of it.
Basically,
Okay.
each person would need their own scroll.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't use a scroll unless you
It's
either
on your spell list.
That's right.
on the spell list. So
So yeah, make it for, or rather, you can either prepare it for you and then make one for Leroy, or you can just make 2. As long as everybody has a way to get out, though, because Makana can increase her movement speed by a little bit.
Erica has an
James is
out
already
now.
super fast.
you guys.
Erica can teleport.
Well, no, Can she?
Cat.
Is Word of Recall not a thing this edition?
It is, but it's 7th level.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Erica
Yeah.
has this figurine that can turn into a giant owl.
Okay. Okay. As long as everybody has something to get out.
I would remind you, you're still talking about a cat that can teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
There's no outrunning that.
So do I need to make him
Yeah.
Before, when he was chasing us through town, did he just not have it prepared?
Oh, he just wanted to chase you.
What the fuck?
I mean, every spell though he uses like on a teleport or something is a lot better than getting a maximized lightning bolt to the face.
Truth.
Teleport this edition is 5th level. Maximized lightning bolt would be 6th.
He's like, I guess I can teleport to you, but that would be no fun. No fun.
It wouldn't be. Where's the fun in just teleporting on top of the thing you think?
I love cats.
So we're going?
Yes.
I think Ken, I just want to point that us out, but Ken would probably be really opposed to.
Yeah. To that end, we've gotten a lot done tonight. I don't really have anything else planned.
Well,
And,
can we at least make the decision on whether or not we're going?
Well, that's the
I
thing.
think we should wait on Ken.
Yeah, I also feel like we should maybe wait for Chris to be present.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, he may want to pursue
I mean,
Like,
you guys,
completely gearing up against Brody first, which Makana would be down for.
if you guys unanimously outvote him, what's he going to do? He can't leave Erica's side.
True.
But we just came from Gilzos not too long ago.
Sure, but also, why not go to Gilzos?
Isn't Gil's where the betting ring was that Leroy got kidnapped?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Brody was.
It's also where the Hunters Guild is.
It's where you guys
Also
met Brody.
where Finley is.
It's also where Byron is.
Yeah. And Monet, but we don't know about that.
And Mirth.
Mirth. The Raven. It's Raven, right?
Yeah, it's a raven.
The Raven.
I bet
That's
he misses
where
me.
Roger got lost.
What lost?
Roger's lost.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Roger?
Wolf mounts.
He
At this
probably
point in
got
time,
eaten.
Leroy does not remember Roger now. Anyway,
He's probably sitting up there in the snow somewhere.
Where's Leroy?
Anyway,
Dog is
so
creepy.
that was a pretty decent session. So yeah, let's call it there. And you guys can discuss in the chat
Alright.
whether or not you'd like to proceed towards Radol or head to Gilsauce. So let's go with some experience points.
I like those.
Yeah,
Ah,
everybody
my leg.
does.
Yeah.
I would like you to know, JD, this was supposed to be a quiet session for Makana, but
And
I
she
felt
felt
like, yeah, I felt like she would literally just cry every single night if she had those marks of justice on her. So I was like, that's probably like she'd probably fight super hard to try and stop them.
I mean, you're welcome to attempt to do so.
Oh no. I'm just saying, like that's why she was so active tonight.
Yeah. All right. So, blanket. We're gonna give everybody 500. We had really good conversations around the table about this whole market justice thing. About the whole Ken did a thing. So let's see. Give everybody except for Leroy and Ken an additional 400. And for Leroy, we're going to go with an extra 200 because he did sneaky things and technically enhanced the wealth of the party. Technically. At the very least, better redistributed it. Yep, that's about it.
Okay.
So,
Does Felicity get extra XP? I mean, experience points, or is she just
the next time
leveling?
you guys gain a level, she'll gain a level.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Wait, is Felicity traveling with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, she's not part of the Sellsword Lords.
She traveled with them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
She used to be, but she isn't anymore.
What level
All right.
considered?
She's got 8 hit dice.
So she's level 8?
Well, 3 of those are aristocrat hit
Oh,
dice,
yeah.
and 5 of them are wizard hit dice. So she's behind
Yeah.
the curve.
I would say, yeah, she's probably somewhere around 6 because most monsters start off with like 2.
Unless you're me. And you start 4.
So, we'll see you guys next time. And yeah, just next week, we'll be back to starting at 5, I think.
I don't know.
And the after next week, I'll be starting a new job, so we may have to talk about meeting only 3 times out of the month instead of 4, due to the shifts that I might be working. It depends on how those line up with weekends, because I may or may not end up having to work a night shift on Sundays once out of the week.
Now I am
of the month.
very, very down for bi-weekly or bi-monthly meetings. It is so pleasant on the GM or DM. Sorry about that. I got a message.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll talk about it later on. I'll know more on Monday next week. So, catch you guys later. Good session. Have a good one.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
New Year's.